There's nothing like Minnesota high school football. Football nights are special. It's about the players, the fans, let's go! The communities. Prep Preview is here to set the stage each week. Dig into the key rivalries, the unique stories, the players to watch, and break down what it all means. The CARE TV Prep Preview on YouTube starts now. Hi everybody, this is week 8 of the Minnesota high school football season. The regular season ends on Wednesday, October 18th for most teams. There are 13 Class 6A games on Thursday, the 19th this week. Welcome to Prep Preview on YouTube. On this Monday, I'm Randy Shaver. Craig Norcus is off for this show, but he'll be back on October 25th. Sorry for all of you Norcus fans out there. Our spotlight game on Wednesday night, Class 5A matchup at Armstrong High School between the Falcons and Andover, both teams ranked in the top 10. Armstrong's offense centered around junior quarterback Dawson Frankie, who's having a nice season, 15 touchdown passes, just 3 interceptions in 7 games. The Falcons are 6-1 with the young quarterback leading the way. His leadership has created a smooth transition after many years of stability at the position for Jack Negan's team.
You know, we're coming off of 2 quarterbacks in 6 years, and so as a coach, you go into panic mode a little bit. But Dawson Frankie, who's going to be a junior for us, was a backup last year, and is just he's a young guy, but he's a great leader, and he's just kind of a gamey kid, right? He's a baseball guy, he's a hockey guy, and just kind of like doesn't get nervous and let's just go. And so he reminds me a little bit of Jake Breitbach, who was kind of that same guy, right? He just was almost a nerdy kid that just let's just go, right? And he was awesome. And so I don't want to put pressure on the kid, but I see a little bit of that, right? Everything's just fun. He just plays the game, and if I make a mistake, get it back and go again.
Well, Andover's coming off a monster win over previously undefeated Sauk Rapids Rice last Friday, 29-8, and has won 5 straight since losing to Mankato West in week 2. Their defense is really zoned in right now, and the offense is excited to get quarterback Chase Pemberton back, and running back Demario Davenport is a big-time player. This matchup with Armstrong finishes off a gauntlet schedule for the Huskies that included St. Thomas Academy, Mankato West, Elk River, Sauk Rapids Rice, and now the Falcons.
It does great things for competition. It gets kids to compete. It gets our kids every single week. We can't take a week off, right? So it keeps them engaged. It keeps them excited to be playing this game. And I do think it's good for 5A football.
Totally agree. 5A football has just been fabulous all season long. Here's our spotlight game. Wednesday night, October 18th, Andover and Armstrong. Andover ranked number 5, Armstrong number 8. It's on the Prep Sports Extra at 10:15 on CARE. Then at 11 o'clock on care11.com, CARE YouTube page, and CARE Plus on Roku and Fire. And of course, we're on cable across the metro. Here's the latest 5A rankings. As of Monday, October 16th, Chan is still the number 1 team in 5A with all 12 first place votes. Rogers will play Mankato West on Wednesday night in Mankato. That's a monster game, and of course, as I said, our spotlight is Andover and Armstrong. Our spotlight game last Friday was Totino Grace at Orono. Fabulous 4A matchup. Here's a takeaway. You can't stop Orono running back Liam Rogers. You can only hope to contain him. Rogers rushed for 198 yards and 2 touchdowns in the decisive 31-7 win over Totino Grace. Orono's ranked number 2 in 4A. They're unbeaten and look to be a very strong contender for a state championship run. It was an impressive win on Friday. Credit their defense, too, holding Totino to just 7 points. Orono ranks number 2 in 4A. In fact, the rankings are out. Becker is number 1. Orono did receive 1 first-place vote this week, and Rocori will host Orono on Wednesday night. That's going to be a monster game in Class 4A. Again, Rocori hosting Orono on Wednesday. Here's the 6A rankings released on Monday the 16th. Eden Prairie, the only undefeated team in Class 6A. Lakeville North moves up to 2. Tonk is 3. South is 4. Edina jumps into the top 10 after upsetting Stillwater last week. And that sets up some final regular season games this week. Mostly played on Thursday the 19th, and there are some day games during Thursday because there's no school. It's MEA. Minnetonka's at Maple Grove. That's a great matchup for the last game of the regular season. Lakeville South at Champlin Park. That should be fun to watch. And Rosemont and Centennial. Centennial's vying for the #1 seed in their district. So some really good football games set in 6A. And of course, after the season ends on Thursday, then the seeding for the playoffs begin. And on Friday morning, October 20th, we will once again host a Class 6A selection show at 10 a.m. on the CARE YouTube channel, KARE11.com, and KARE11 Plus. That's when we will reveal the 6A playoff bracket live and show you the matchups first. We did this last year in partnership with the Minnesota State High School League, and it was a huge success. So we're back to do it again this Friday morning, the Class 6A selection show. We've never done this before. Our 6A selection show Friday, October 20th will look and feel a lot like last year's show. A panel of 6A coaches will join me live on set as we reveal the playoff bracket, one set of 8 teams at a time, until all 32 teams are announced.
I've never seen him play a down of football.
But isn't that kind of the beauty of 6A? Our online audience last year was huge, and we expect it to be even larger on Friday morning.
I think there's an appetite for it, right? People are interested in it. 6A is different. You know, we have 32 teams. We used to say 32 teams in the metro area. We don't have that anymore with Rochester and Mayo. I would say those 32 communities care deeply, but then there's an audience out there that wants to see how it works, right? I think the other thing, Randy, this was your idea, right? So thank you for doing that. But it brings a transparency to the process, how it works. It educates our audience, it educates our communities, and they get to see this play out over a period of time. That's only one of our classes of football, right? And it is different. So I just appreciate you being creative and a bit of an entrepreneur and us working together to really give your audience and our audience the ability to see what that looks like.
So here's where you can find the 6A selection show live on Friday morning, October 20th at 10 a.m. on KARE11.com, the CARE YouTube page, and on our streaming channel, KARE11 Plus, on Roku or Fire. And we hope that you'll tune in Friday morning at 10. Let's run through the rest of the AP rankings that came out on Monday the 16th. In Class 3A, basically no change. Stewartville remains the #1 team in 3A. Minneapolis North did move up a spot from #7 to #6 in this week's poll. Of course, North moved up from Class 2A to 3A this fall. The Polars play 4A school Fridley on Wednesday night, part of a difficult schedule. Even when they were in Class 2A the past few years, they always opted to play up during the regular season. I love talking to North head coach Charles Adams because he's not just a great coach, but his life is about service to the North Side and those players. Take a listen. You've always been an advocate of football. It's more than just the game.
Absolutely.
It's about lessons in life. It's about teaching young men, young boys to be men. Talk a little bit about that and how you see your influence making an impact.
You know, when we talk about being impactful and how much, you know, we do for our kids that we coach, we don't say as adults how much that we need them as well. And the biggest thing that we take as coaches is that, yeah, we're here to help you guys out and help you to become better men, but you guys got to understand that you guys are helping us become better men by helping and guiding and teaching. And I always tell my kids, I need you guys just as much as you need me, because, you know, this is a good place for me. And it, you know, it's like a family. So, you know, we got to stick together, but leaning on them just as much as they lean on me is what I think helps us out going forward.
When you say you need them, in what way?
Emotionally, support, but then also just knowing that, you know, there's no me as a coach without you. And I don't think we say that out loud enough. It's always about what we want and what we can do, but none of this exists if we don't have these young men that are in front of us.
He is a tremendous football coach and just a great guy. Minneapolis North at Fridley on Wednesday night. Here's some of the other matchups. I told you about Orono traveling to Ricori on Wednesday night. Princeton is at Dassel Cokato on Wednesday. That's going to be fun to watch. And there are a couple of 6A games on Wednesday as well. Egan and Eastview, Moundsview, and St. Michael Albertville. Here's the latest 2A rankings released on Monday. Barnesville still number 1. Caledonia is number 2. Lots of talent in this class. Playoffs are going to be fun to watch. In 1A, Minneota is still the number 1 team. 10 first place votes this week. Fillmore Central remains number 2. And Gibbon Fairfax Winthrop jumps into the top 10 at number 10. And the 9-man rankings have defending state champion Mountain Iron Buell at number 1. Obviously, 11 first place votes. They're 7-0. Fertile Beltrami remains number 2, and Nevis is number 3. There is no doubt high school football players face so many challenges during the season. They face adversity when it comes to training, playing time, injuries, and so much more. I posed the question to coaches this summer: what is the biggest challenge facing high school football players in Minnesota today? Here's what they said. What do you think is the biggest issue that high school football players in Minnesota face right now?
Oh boy, I don't know if it's specific to high school football, but just the pressure to specialize in sports. I'm just not a fan of it.
In football, you need numbers. I always say to go from being good to very good, you need those kids out where football is their number 2 sport, is their number 3 sport. And especially at a 5A size school, we don't have enough kids to just have football players, to just have basketball players, to just have those. We need kids to cross over.
You know, I think they get pulled in a lot of directions. I think Brian Vossen, you know, I always remember him saying that I don't need football to be your favorite sport. I just need it to be in your top 3, and you're only one in the fall. And I remember when I had the opportunity to go down there, I thought Lakeville North football was, you know, this is one of the great programs in the state.
There's so many opportunities for kids and a lot of different voices pulling them in different directions. You know, so if football's not your number 1 sport, people telling them, hey, you better really hone in on whatever the sport might be if you want to make it. And I think that's too bad that message is being sent.
What do you think the biggest issues are that high school football players face in Minnesota right now?
I hate to say it, but you know, that's kind of where we are as a society right now, right? It's getting kids to commit and work hard. I think that's a tough sell for all high school kids, is that concept of it will pay off. It's no different when you're teaching and you try to tell these kids these grades, they will matter down the road. I wish I could just give you a check right now, but it will pay off for you down the road.
What do you think is the biggest challenge high school football players in Minnesota face right now?
I would look at it a different way, and I would say, you know, what's the biggest challenge that high school kids face, which obviously is going to include our kids playing football, is the different world they grow up in than what we grew up in, with social media, with everything online, with dealing with that, with mental health issues. As a teacher, as an educator, that's what we see as the biggest challenges.
I wish there was a break sometime, right? I love doing this summer stuff, but I remember back in the day, there were some good teams and we didn't go all day. And so these kids are doing multi-sports, then they're going with other workout guys, and so I just worry about, you know, I want our kids to be a kid. There's times I tell our guys, go to the beach, right? Just go to the beach and jump in the lake, have some fun, do something else.
What do you think is the biggest issue facing high school football players today that they face?
Watching the pros. I mean, I'm turn on YouTube and I see 3rd and 4th graders slapping their chest and point. I'm like, what? And I guess I'm too old school in that. Like, I just want to act like I've done it before. And we watch these guys who everything has to be a show, like a 3-yard catch for a first down and you're dancing. Like, what are we doing, you know? And, you know, you sound kind of bitter as an old person saying that, like, oh, you're just mad because you didn't do it. I'm just a professional, like, do your job. So.
act like you've been there before, right? Okay, so many different answers from those coaches, and I appreciate their time on that subject. We have our hot highlights for this week. It's a short week of voting because we have football on Wednesday night this week. The winner will be revealed Wednesday, October 18th in the Prep Sports Extra.
Hot Highlights is sponsored by TrueStone Financial.
So here's the three choices you have to vote on this week. Liam Rogers of Orono. This is a great 56-yard touchdown run, amazing effort down the stretch to get into the end zone, breaking tackles all the way in. That's hot highlight number one. Number two is a 92-yard interception return for a touchdown by Owen Kemper of Edina against Stillwater in their big upset win last Friday night. He takes it all the way, and that's hot highlight number two. And number three is a whopper of a tackle by Mounds View's Joey Muhlstein. He picks up the receiver and then just drops him. That's how they teach you to do that. At least back in my day, that's how they taught you how to tackle. Watch it again. I guess we won't see it again, but Muhlstein with a great, here it is. Watch this, picks him up and drops him. That's a textbook tackle, and that's hot highlight number three. The rest is up to you now. Go to the KARE11.com page and vote for your favorite. Voting will close on Wednesday at 2 o'clock, and I'll announce the winner during the Prep Sports Extra Wednesday night at 10:15 on KARE. Well, obviously without Craig, no Weeble winner this week. We'll bring that back when we're back for Prep Preview on Wednesday, October 25th. That's it for this show. The playoffs, of course, get underway next week. A reminder, the Prep Sports Extra this week is Wednesday the 18th at 10:15 on KARE and 11 o'clock on cable, KARE11.com, and our KARE11 YouTube page and KARE11 Plus. And our 6A selection show is this Friday, October 20th at 10 a.m. We will reveal the 6A playoff brackets live on Friday morning. We hope you'll tune in. Enjoy the football this week.